Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another e-rev Army Europe cast here tonight. Another video cast for the I'm not sure exactly what something's Cal main final. I'm sorry, I haven't been very properly informed. Either way, it's going to be Utopia versus Avenue Esports. Both of the teams are esports actually, so it's going to be Utopia versus Avenue. We're going to cast tonight finals. It's going to be on the Surgeon Cam, and then followed by Tunnel, and so it's going to be the first match. Both teams are already ready in the server. And in setup, it's waiting for us casters. We had a little bit delay, but hopefully it's going to be worth it because we should be able to start having war room rounds starting with this cast here tonight, in which we can go into the ventrilo of the actual teams playing and hear what they are saying while the match is going on, all completely live. Like I said, Avenue versus Utopia. I'm going to quickly do a roster rundown here. For Avenue, we have Views, Revo, Viduka, and Techni. And for Utopia, we have iWaste, Sibo, I don't know how to pronounce that, Thema 3, I'm going to say TM3, and then Weapon X. And we are here for e-rev. I'm Orange Devil. Casting with me, just heard him, was Adonis. And doing the video for us tonight is going to be DGR again. Adonis, what do you think about this match here tonight?
I really think it's going to be a quality match because both of the teams have been prepping a lot. They've been scrimming. They've been practicing their strats. So I think we're going to look at a great final here. Obviously there's going to be a difference between the invite and the main, but I think these teams are really doing a great job playing these finals. And yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Early prediction: which team do you think is going to take it?
Well, I have to say I think 5th Avenue will take the win here. They've really surprised me on the Surgeons Camp because I've scrimmed them a couple of times this week. They were really decent. Their defense strats are worked out very well, so I think they're gonna take the win.
All right, a small Avenue prediction there by Adonis. We're about 2 seconds away from going live. Avenue is going to be starting on defense, and the Utopia is going to start on assault. We're going to go live in 5 seconds. Once again, Cal main finals, right here at e-rev. We got Utopia versus Avenue Esports, and we're live right now. Just going to quickly take a look at what Avenue is going to do on their defense. See Views going into that radio room. Got Viduka on the top offices. Techni's going to go on the south stairs and drop down some nades, and Revo's holding out the garage. Meanwhile, what has Utopia been doing? Utopia is sitting around that main hill, that first assault hill, basically right next to their spawn. Just putting some spam on the windows, and they've pushed iWaste you up down to the. That's going to be on the which side of the map is that? That's the north side.
He's now side, yeah.
He's putting some shots on the roof, or he has spotted the 203 player for Avenue, which is going to be. Just going to take a quick look. I think it was a 203 player, which would be Viduka, but there's I think also somebody else running around up there for Avenue. Actually, there isn't, so it must have been Viduka. And let's quickly take a look around. I see Weapon X you for Utopia. So this is Weapon X, yeah. He's been shot red. He's a saw player. That's a pretty big early hit right there. As Utopia has to bring back their pushed up player to quickly give him some medical attention. Meanwhile, TMA3 is pushed up towards the tents, and I think he's going to be spearheading the first smokes and possibly a small push here. Adonis.
I think you were right about the second player in top floor office, because Techni was just looking out towards North Hill from top floor office. He's now back to basement as he's covering the lower PC. Weapon X is now proning through the tents. They're really taking it slow, Utopia.
Yeah, Utopia pushing around the back now with iWaste you going around that north side, just having run around the radio room, basically all the way outside around those hills. He's all the way in the back now, just looking through that little window. And he spots a player and tries to shoot him in the back as one of those players for Avenue came out the garage. He must have gotten some hits in there, as Techni immediately responds coming out the other side, out the back. And Revo was that player, and he's been shot down. But meanwhile, Sibo has been shot down somewhere else by Viduka. I'm not sure exactly where that happened. More fighting going around the back. Somewhere else on the map, though, Techni and Viduka both taken down by the Utopia players. And it's going to be all up to do for Avenue Views, who has taken down his immediate guy basically at the window there, which was I Waste You, but now Utopia has taken the round by objective, I believe. Did you see what happened there on the other side of the map there, Adonis?
I have, yeah. They took basement computer. Weapon X, I think, was covering from the stairs towards the player coming from roof. There must have been views. While the other player, I'm not sure who it was, but was taking basement computer.
Alright, lots of fast action there after a very slow start by Utopia, and I have to say, you know, after that first couple of hits that they took, and then the big miss actually on the backside, the garage entrance there, where a player was getting shot in the back, one of the Utopia players, but did not. I think he wasn't even really hit. I think it was still green. That was really big. But then Utopia finally recovered themselves and took that first round. Kind of nice on Assault. And Insurgent Camp. Insurgent Camp is pretty balanced though, so I'm just gonna have to see how this keeps going. Utopia now in the second round putting a lot of spam on the windows and doors again, especially the Assault player Weapon X. It's quickly taking a look at what Avenue is doing. Pretty standard strat, I think. Fusing the radio room with the saw. Vidic on the south stairs lower. Techni on the just above the basement entrance stairs, looking out the window. And Revo was actually in a little more unorthodox spot in the garage, prone, looking at that window in the back in the north. I want to say northeast, but I really have no idea if that's east.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Sometimes my memory remembers stuff I don't even know. Anyway, Adonis, what else do you see going on?
We've got well, basically the same strat, I think. Utopia is deploying as the last round. They've got I Waste pushing to the back. He's at North Hill, next to the building, while the 203 is still on Mid Assault Hill. Two players are coming through the tents, if I'm correct.
Looks like they are going to do something slightly different though, as Weapon X is now also making his way around that building. So this suggests maybe a slightly different emphasis of the push. But it does kind of look like I'm gonna call another basement PC strat on this round. Smoke's coming out now. The nade coming out by TMA3 through that roof hole, probably trying to land that in the south stairs. Closing in on the building now by TMA3, and more closing in on the building on the backside is Weapon X. Or actually, I Waste You shot by shot by Vidica. I'm having a little bit of problems with these names so much. I don't know. People start spelling their names with letters. Either way, now on the back is most of the Utopia players, I think. They're trying to push in that backside, that hallway though, not the garage. And they're going to come up there against Techni, who was sitting in the basement PC. And his immediate help is in the garage, and then the last Avenue player is still in that radio room. So it's going to be all up to do for Techni, I think. He's going to quickly see what he does. As he's defending it there. Takes down the first player. And then a big TK coming out for Avenue, and I think he takes down the second player as well. Techni does, and that is actually the round straight up to Avenue Esports there. And after that TK, let's go to the Avenue War Room now for this round.
Middle. Awful man there. I need a medic. Fast, Revo. All these fucking niggas just scanned as hell.
Shut up, shut up.
Gun click side of tent. Yeah, one coming right side of tent.
The smoke top floor.
Is he in front of the house?
Do know.
No.
Not yet. Grenading to roof.
We got one around still truck. Tent area.
I need it left hand. One's coming in.
It's a tent area, left side. I'm hit it. I'm falling back.
I got him.
They're flanking me.
South outside.
They're in tunnel.
Revo, help, yeah.
Will come south back X.
Techni, that's me, that's me.
Here, watch out for the back. I'm falling back to... Lauren, nee, Maarten!
Where should I go?
Ik zit een maatje, hè?
Just fucked up. Garage.
Okay, good.
Got the
Nice.
god last
Nice.
That round was I think it was a fake tunnel push there by Utopia that didn't completely work out for them as Techni managed to come out of those basement access corridors in time. And I just gotta admit that I was maybe started too fast, but I think that round was a fake basement or a fake tunnel assault strat. As this new round right now starts off by the Utopia 203, which is Weapon X, getting taken down right away. Actually, is that the? It's not. Yeah, let me check. It's a little bit tricky here. It's not the 203. It's the Saw player gets taken down right away. Weapon X. Excuse me there. And I also have to make a slight correction for the second round that we casted, which ended in a win for Avenue, as that TK actually came all the way at the end and obscured most of the actual kills that I didn't see there. Either way, right now the score is 1-2 in favor of Avenue Esports. Donis.
Yeah, that last round, Viduka got taken down by Techni while Viduka was flanking the Utopia players going towards basement. Indeed, that's where the team kill happened. We see Techni looking over North Hill from top floor office. He's gonna be nading behind the rock, as most of you viewers will know what I mean. Utopia is taking it pretty slow again. 2 or 3 still at middle assault hill, while iWaste is now not pushing towards North Hills but next to the tents, the right side of tents, looking from the building.
That rock that Donis was talking there is right next to the on the south side, right next to the tents, and that's actually where teammate 3 was going as that nade was coming out, but didn't actually hit him. And now Avenue Viduka taken down by a grenade by iWaste from Utopia here, as we're now playing 3v3, and just quickly seeing where the push is going to go. There's a lot of peeking going on, and there's some smoke deployed, and the Utopia players have now closed in with the building, so it's going to be CQB fighting from here on out. iWaste has been shot yellow though in that exchange probably where he threw that grenade off. So I would say that Avenue still has a bit of an advantage here. Nades coming out in that top floor office are actually flashes, and now we got TMA 3 taken down by Techni around the back side. Must have come out there, I think, or actually maybe shot him through that window there. I think that happened through the window on the basement access room. It's gonna be even more fighting around that basement access room with Techni, where both players are trying to get in for Utopia. Meanwhile, Avenue is actually pushed around outside, so Utopia has to commit to this door now. They're gonna get flanked and pretty much destroyed pretty quickly, and that's actually what's gonna happen right now as Views is coming around the back.
Around the building.
Yep. Now even more. He takes 2 big kills there, and wins the round for Avenue. I have to say, there was kind of poor reacting there by Utopia. It seems very not to like say anything bad about Utopia, but actually let's just go to their war room for Utopia and see what they say themselves.
First, man. Nading. Maybe start nading the offices. Come on, man.
one G left.
Time
No,
out.
no, I think that.
Red, bro. No, the behind.
He's southeast, man.
I was trapped in the fucking corner.
Alright, and we're back from that war room round there. And that round, just a quick recap, that was characterized by Avenue playing a very aggressive defense, starting off with Technique crawling to those southeast hills. And he takes a kill from there, and then later on shoots another player red before he gets taken down by a pretty nice shot, I got to say. But then there was also the 203 playing aggressive for Avenue, picking up a kill, plus basically at that point all the players coming out in the windows, and another kill was made that way, forcing the last Utopia player to be down 1v3 and yellow bleeding, having to go in on his own. He tried it. I'm not sure exactly which player that was anymore. Let me just quickly check. That was Weapon X with his saw trying to get in and make something happen, but he couldn't get anything done, making the score on the end 4-1 for Avenue. After Avenue comes off defense, for some reason there seems to be something wrong with the score reports in the actual server right now. Either way, Avenue have just played defense and they have won that 4-1. Adonis, what are your thoughts so far on this map?
I think the reason why Utopia managed to take one round is basically just a surprise thing at the beginning. Avenue wasn't, well, they weren't that prepared, I guess, for the first round, where Utopia did a great push on basement PC, taking that computer and securing their one round in this match so far.
That was definitely a nice round.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great push. Besides that, I think Avenue had their game going on pretty well. They weren't really in real trouble, so I think they played a good defense.
I have to say, I think they definitely played a good defense, but I think on that third round, when Utopia tried that fake tunnel push, which I thought was quite a creative strat, where they pushed, I think, at least one person in the tunnels, but maybe even had another guy run there just to be shown, just to be seen going to the tunnels. I think Avenue actually committed 2 people to defending that basement PC tunnel area, and then Utopia came in the back, going through that basement access room, and I think they wanted to walk past that, go through the building, and maybe even go to roof PC and just cut off the basement PC, which was a good thought and a good idea, I think. But then, right at the moment that Techni was basically coming out of that basement PC room and going to those stairs, one of the Utopia players actually decided that he wanted to look down those stairs, which I thought was maybe not the best idea. And right after Techni gets that first kill, he manages to get up and kill 2 more people just because of, I don't know what that was, if it was miscommunication or slow reactions or just great individual play by Techni. But that was pretty much one player stopping their entire strat, which I thought was a pretty good strat. But after that, like on the 4th round, and to a lesser extent now in the 5th round, especially the 4th round though, it just seemed that Utopia's whole push was very uncoordinated to me. That's what I was talking about earlier. When they did like try to make something happen, but it looked like it was basically all going in one by one and not really going together and cutting off a part of the map, putting some nades down, and then under the cover of the nades and or smoke going in. It was really much more everybody just doing something and not really together. That's the impression I got.
Yeah, exactly my thought.
Yeah, at the moment we're looking at a crashed server possibly. I don't know. I'm suddenly back in my main. I just don't seem to be able to get out.
you've been kicked for MD5 tool queries, I think. So if you can just reconnect to the server, should
Right,
be fine.
I'll do that then. I just, I know that in the moment we're waiting for a substitute by Utopia. And they're taking
he's
out
just-
Sabo, I think.
Yeah, he's just connected to the game. It's Arrow. He'll be playing as a 4-player on defense for Utopia.
Alright. I'm just trying to connect back into that server right now. Next map is going to be Tunnel. Adonis, what do you think about like these two maps for this CalM finals, and what do you think about like how that balance is going to be, and do you think that, let's say that Avenue keeps going the way they're going right now, they're going to get a pretty decently big win on Insurgent Camp, let's say 7-3. Can we still see a comeback from Utopia on Tunnel, or?
I'm not really sure. I just scrimmed about 1.5 hour before the match. I scrimmed Utopia with well, sort of a mixed team, but most of the players were from Utopia. Scrimmed them on Tunnel, and they did some surprising stuff. Although I don't think they will be able to come back from being 3-7 behind against Avenue, especially with players such as Sigmad, such as Techni and Views, who are more than capable of playing a very decent collapse tunnel match.
Alright. I
I
seem to
think
have some
they're-
problem reconnecting just really quickly there, to interrupt you, sorry. Is there some error message that I'm getting?
It says you're losing key packets, so you've been kicked for 0 minutes. You should be able to just reconnect.
I'm trying that.
Hold on, don't type disconnect, because you're still in the server as your connection crashed.
Okay. Can we get
just
rid
gonna
of me
try
there,
and
or
vote
I'm gonna
kick
have to
you.
wait? Alright. But actually, we were saying on 7-3 is probably going to be too much at the moment. They're down 4-1. If they play a good defense, I would expect that they can still tie it if they play a really strong defense. If I've seen how Avenue's playing, I don't really expect them to win Insurgent Camp, especially with the way Insurgent Camp is laid out, where I think Insurgent Camp, you have the defense advantage, especially early on, but as soon as the assault push comes, and Assault still has 4 players alive, they can choose which PC to attack, and you're going to have, like, basically, as most IC strats go, you have one defender actually committed to the PC, 2 guys in the middle, and then 1 all the way on the other PC. And if you're really good at your defending, I think the best you can do is have 3 players close enough to the PC, whichever one it is that's being attacked, to defend it, but the other player is always going to have to be far away, just in case that one player is sneaking around trying to grab that PC with a ninja grab, or if you just completely miss the key part of the attack. So once there's 4 attackers alive and they have managed to close in with the building, and they have managed to basically get so close that they can all get in and make their push, then being 4v4 is actually not that great for defense. Obviously, being even less players on the defense side is even worse, but ideally I think defense needs to keep picking off an attacker before they get to the building, just to make it as secure as possible that they will take the rounds. This is the way Insurgent Camp works, I think. Similarly, let's say you get down to a 1v1 situation, I think in that case, on Insurgent Camp, the attackers definitely have the advantage. So it's quite a trickily balanced map, I would say, but it's definitely a lot of fun to watch. It's a little bit tricky to cast, I have to just say that I noticed that now. But meanwhile, while I'm talking about these maps, any progress on getting me back in the server?
Yeah, the server has just been rebooted, so we're reconnecting to the server as we speak. You should be able to connect as well.
What do you
The
think
scores
about
will be
the...
down. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, keep talking.
Okay, the server's been restarted and we're going back to 0-0, so we have to keep the 4-1 score to Avenue in mind.
I'm just gonna
I
have
think
to
you're-
redo my my binds then, though, unfortunately. What do you think about Insurgent Camp as a map, though, for like finals and balance in general?
Well, personally, it's like my worst map as a player, but in competitive game, I think it's a good map as it's not really one-sided. There's not like objectives switching around the map, as for example in Border, which is a pretty good competitive map as well, in my opinion. Besides that, I think the map is pretty good indeed for a match. also as a final map. Tunnel. Well, I should pretty much say the same, as it is a bit one-sided for assault if if the tactics are deployed good. Usually the flashes on the T-split, as we know them, have to be well timed. Otherwise, the defense will be able to go into east tunnel before assault will be able to go there as well.
How much has tunnel been affected by the changes in flashbangs compared to how I know it from back when I played? Just for my information here.
A lot, really, because the game has been sped up a lot. With the flashes especially not taking that long anymore, it is possible for defense to take a round on tunnel, while it used to be almost impossible for defense to take any round at all.
Right, so we're going to hope for a little bit less assault-sided tunnel and some really fast and probably quick and dirty action, to put it that way, on tunnel after this the second insurgent camp half. I think both the teams are ready. I'm ready. I think are you ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody's ready. Then let's just wait for these teams to start readying up, and then we can watch the second half of the CalM finals. We are casting here for e-rev, and at the moment we're on insurgent camps. First map here tonight. Second map, as we just talked about, was going to be tunnel. Fifth Avenue is now going on assault after playing a defense in which they have managed to get 4-1 up. So that's a pretty nice lead to start off with in these finals. What else is going to happen here? We don't know. We're going to have to see what kind of pushes Avenue can come up with. After an impressive defense, we definitely expect some creative strats, or at least just some really good shooting. But we're going to see it in a maximum of 2 minutes, I would say. And yeah, as you may have noticed, if you have been listening before, we now also have the option for a War Room cast, which means we can go live as it happens into the ventrilos of both of these teams playing and hear their own communication, basically at the same time as the actual action in the game happens. So that's quite a nice insight into what's going on with these teams in those rounds. I think both teams are pretty much ready to go, and they're just asking if we're ready, and which we are. Well, I'm going to say let's take a look at this second half. 4-1 up for Avenue, as I said before. Finally now going live, and Avenue now starting on assault, so we can quickly look at what they're doing as we are now going live in the second half of the first map. Immediately just taking a look. What are we going to see? Immediate 203 and saw spam coming out on the building. Let's just quickly take a look at the Avenue players here. We got Views with 203 there, spamming it up on the top PC at the moment. Vidica has got the M4, Technies with the saw, and then we have Revo with the M4. Both the M4 players, Vidica and Revo, have pushed up towards the tents and are in that immediate tent area where they are, I believe, putting up some... actually, I think they're being counter-swapped. And they've actually closed into the building really fast. Just really quickly doing a defense strat rundown. We got Weapon X on that radio room little hallway next to it, looking at around the back on the window. Then TMA 3 is on the basement stairs, actually going down to the basement now. And iWaste is in the garage looking towards the front entrance with Arrow on the roof with his 203, as he just now dodged a 203 and now manages to pick up a kill on Revo on the back. Well, that's a pretty impressive play, just dodging that 203, picking up that kill. Then Techni getting taken down by iWaste, and then iWaste immediately himself taken down by Vidica. Vidica now in that front door. I think he is actually running back out, going to the southwest room there, putting a nade through that door towards the south stairs. And I think we're going to see a bottom push where TMA 3 is going to have to hold it up. Meanwhile, Weapon X still on that north side. Actually, he's the one, Weapon X now is the one being spammed through the door, and he is yellow going back into that, towards the garage. But as he does that, he gets taken down by Views, who has now taken over that radio room area. Vidica then pushing up and nading on the top office where Arrow is standing. He's red. I don't think he's going to be able to dodge that nade when it comes out. Adonis.
I think they're going to be pushing for the top PC. Unless
Arrow takes a flash to the face now. just quickly seeing what's going on. I interrupted you here, but that happened basically right when you started talking.
There's a fight between Views and TMA where team is taken down just next to garage. While I'm not sure who that is taking BPC, while Views is taking the top PC. So don't think. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, both PCs being taken there by Avenue, and all the players for Utopia also dead, with in the end Arrow there bleeding to death on those top offices. And I'm not sure why Team A3 was actually pushing that radio room. I think that was because they didn't want the Avenue players to just be able to sit around there. But as he was pushing it, meanwhile one of the Avenue players went around in his back, taking that BPC. That was a pretty bad round. Oh, and it gets even worse as Techni now gets... actually, it doesn't get worse, it gets better. Techni now gets blown up by Arrow. Just reading that wrong, my bad. Either way, that first round that was on Assault for Avenue went really well for them, and pretty bad for Utopia, as Utopia had in the end both PCs being taken and all players down. But this round, Techni gets 2-3 right to the face from the roof, and I think that even damaged other players standing close to him, like Views being yellow there. So that was definitely a quality 203. Honestly, I think that should be giving Utopia this round. At the moment, though, score 5-1 in favor of Avenue, who are now pushing into the tents with loads of smokes, and I would imagine some grenades after that, donuts.
Yeah, they're going quick to the building, as Revo is popping a nade into south stairs. TMA 3 is still in tunnel. All the way up in basement PC, while Fuse is pushing towards Revo, taking down iWaste at the back of the building.
Revo now in that garage.
Indeed.
Pretty much splitting that defense from Utopia in half, and we're playing 3v3 again. First is going to come out on the south side now, as Arrow was shot by Views, and now immediately he's taken down. Revo's taken down by teammate 3. And Views is now sitting in that main entrance, where he's going to ambush teammate 3, I believe, or at least he's going to try to do that. And at the moment,
up to top floor office, as he thinks top PC is going to be taken, while Views is slowly going towards basement PC.
Yeah, Views being red, teammate 3 being green. Yeah, 1v1 situation.
Doesn't have a clue where Views is at this moment, bleeding to death.
That's unlucky there, as that was a lot of action really fast around the, I think in the middle of the building, that area there. Loads of kills coming out. Just to quickly run that down, I don't know exactly sure where all those kills were, but Vidica taken down by Arrow, then Arrow immediately taken down by Views. I think that was on the push on the bottom PC, which then Revo taken down by teammate 3, who was in that actual bottom PC area. Weapon X, meanwhile, I think in the radio room, taken down by Views. And then Views was sitting, or actually Weapon X probably was trying to push towards the garage then, as Views was immediately after that sitting in the main entrance room. And then now Arrow taken down by Vidica pretty early on. Vidica was at those rocks next to the tents, and immediately Avenue seems to be capitalizing on that, putting a lot of smokes up in front of the building in the top office, and having loads of players pushing into that tent area. A couple of nades coming out, not bad nades, good nades actually, as Techni goes down from one of those spam nades from inside the building. That was by Weapon X, and that could be pretty crucial, as he was the assault player going down pretty early there, and now we're playing a 3v3 situation again, or we're watching a 3v3 situation. But Avenue has taken all around the building, has taken position all around the building, with Vuz sitting around the back, although Revo now taken down by teammate 3 also. I think that was on the front still. Vidica is actually in that building, in the basement. In the basement, actually. Vidica was trying to support him then. He was trying to come in that back. Adonis.
Yeah, Revo was trying to push for basement PC. I don't know why he was doing that alone, because all of the other players are still outside of the building. Revo was taking that alone, going for the basement PC where he was taken down by TMA. We've got not a lot of action going on right now.
Vidica was behind him, but he was yellow at the time, trying to come in with, I think, flash in his hand, and it's now bled red. So maybe that's why he was trying it alone, as Vidica was just slowed down. Either way...
So proning towards the north side of the building, Vidica being red, with Fuse being in his back with a 203, waiting for someone to come out of garage into the room, towards radio room. As Vidica's now taken down iWaste. with a pretty good shot for a red player. It's really...
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I think Waste was in that top office. Fuse actually missed him before, or he didn't see him. Now Fuse tries to go in the back on the window, and he gets taken out with Weapon X, who's still sitting in that little hallway. Teammate Green after out of the garage as Vidka moves in, and gets immediately shot. Well, he's still red, obviously. He's managed to get past that Saw player there, and is now trying to take the
TMA
PC.
probably.
I would expect
TMA
so.
coming from the roof.
Yeah, teammate taking him down there. I think that shot on iWaste was very impressive, though.
Absolutely.
Yep, definitely. Let's do another war room round here. This time for let's go to Avenue again.
They have team attack.
Well, you could have again.
Whoa, one on the roof, one on... Whoa, man, I need a medic fast.
Stop. Come. I'm off. Top floor.
Smokes.
PC.
Viduka, smoke.
Yeah, boys. So smoke top floor office. It's much important than the fucking front of the building smoke. Why? Okay.
Let's go radio room this time. The fucking lot of them
fine.
bottom. Let's go radio room, come.
You take left side of the fence.
Wow. Sluk for det der lort.
Rivo, we should go or something.
Roof down.
Nice.
One radio room. I'm blind.
I smoked roof.
Oh.
Fuck, I'm flashing myself. I'm going behind building.
One's go out.
I'm nading garage.
Top office, top office.
Watch out, nade.
Arch down, one alive.
I'm top office. Top PC, I mean.
Horrible.
Just dual check. Nice. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
We go for the last round too.
He came from.
Let's win the last one.
Nee, nee, het is niet bijna gedaan.
I will go towards the tunnel entrance. It's mixed up.
Yeah, 6-3 leads. This is going to be a pretty crucial round, I would believe. If Utopia loses this, they're at least 7-3 behind, and we were talking about that earlier, and we don't think that that's going to give them any more chance on tunnel. So they're going to have to keep taking these rounds now. Adonis, what do you see happening right now?
I see them pushing again pretty fast to the building. Revo popping flashes and nades into smokes. I mean, well, he killed himself there, trying to pop a nade into a top floor office, but bouncing back from the wall, killing himself. Not very good for Avenue, as it pretty much takes out the rush. Arrow is trying to blow the Avenue players coming onto radio room, while Techni is coming from the south of the building, nading into the dark room now, not hitting anyone. TMA is still on basement floor, waiting for Techni to come into the window or the door.
At the start of that round, Utopia was playing pretty aggressive on the outside of the back of the building, but Stigmatic was going around really, or actually, is it Stigmatic? Sounds like. Either way, it was going around the south side, and he actually proned that right when the Utopia players are going back in. So right now, it's going to be all about the normal defense again, as Fuse has been shot down by Weapon X, and iWaste has been shot down by Avenue Techni, who is now in that garage. Teammate there holding the basement PC, Weapon X holding the top PC, and Arrow in that broken roof building. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm seeing right now. I don't
As
stick it
he
away.
technically pushing towards basement, he's gonna go for the basement PC most likely, as Arrow is still up on that roof, I think. Yes, he is. I think TMA should now be reporting the basement push as both of the Avenue players are going for the basement PC. Both of them still in the room. As Lucas covering the broken roof, Techni is down towards TMA, who's still in the basement PC. He takes down Techni, very nice shot there through the door. Weapon X is still in the top PC. The last player of Avenue is pushing the basement. Also taken down by TMA. Very well played
TMA
there
3
by
holding
TMA
that
3.
basement PC very nicely. I was wondering what the rest of his team was doing, but in the end it wasn't really necessary. And that
Indeed.
means that Utopia's got the 4 rounds on Insurgent Camp, and Avenue's got 6, so it's a 6-4 leads, 10 rounds per map, as you may have deduced from that. And we're going to go over to Tunnel now for another 10 rounds there to determine the Cal-M finals winner, and obviously also the Cal-M winner in that same vein. Either way, at the moment, I gotta say, pretty strong play from Avenue, but judging from, for example, how it sounded on their war room, it seems to be very much up to individual skill, not so much the teamwork. Utopia had pretty decent teamwork and pretty. I really think that fake tunnel strat was a really nice one that they pulled in that third assault round for them, but unfortunately for them, that kind of fell apart by just being. I don't know, just got destroyed when they went in on that back axis that time, and since then their teamwork just has suffered from that, unfortunately. I think if they would be able to pull it together a bit more, you could maybe see a bit more of an even match. Adonis, what do you think about that observation? Or maybe I'm talking completely not a lot of sense.
No,
but what do you think?
I've got to completely agree with you, because if Utopia would have been communicating a bit more than they did while they were deploying that fake tunnel push, they might have taken the round as Techni, excuse me, pretty much saved the round for Avenue on his own. If they would have communicated a bit more, then they would have been able to take down Techni and maybe take basement PC as well, as they were going for that objective. Also from the war room, from being in the war room at Utopia's channel, I didn't really feel the communication there. They weren't really working as a team together, and that's probably why Avenue has taken the lead so far, being 6-4 ahead of Utopia. I think enough of Insurgent Camp. We're going to Tunnel now. See both teams, no, not both teams, just Avenue being readied up for mission planning, while the last player of Utopia is still waiting to join the server. I think we'll just have to wait for that until we can go to mission planning.
Let's do a small little break then, as we'll be back as soon as these teams are a little bit more ready. And stay tuned, because there's definitely going to be more of this match, and it's pretty exciting so far. So now Tunnel coming up, it's definitely going to get even more fast-paced and exciting, I would say. I just got the message that we are not able to do a break, I think. Excuse me for that silence there. I thought we could actually do that. But as I'm saying that, it does appear that all the players have actually gotten in the server and are already in the setup here. I was thinking that would take maybe a little bit longer, as it looked like another substitution going on there, but it wasn't. So 6-4, that's a possibility for Utopia to come back. I think they have to refine their teamwork that they definitely did show in that first Insurgent Camp round. The second Insurgent Camp round, I think, was just, not everything works. The third one with that tunnel push was a show of some inventive strategy, some good preparation for this match, which is always good to see. But then I think maybe that demoralized them when it didn't work, unfortunately, and that maybe explained the rest of the assault rounds is going so poorly. Although, of course, don't want to discount any of the performances by the Avenue players, because they've been really great as well. So, all in all, it's going to be hard to predict what's going to happen on Tunnel, because Tunnel's so fast-paced. And Tunnel, more than any other map, I would say, is a map where the team that makes one mistake less than the other team is the team that's going to take it. It's so unforgiving in some ways. If you have one flash landing wrong, or you miss that one crucial kill, your whole team gets taken down because of your one mistake. That's just how fast Tunnel goes, and that's how unforgiving it is. So we're just going to wait for these teams to ready up and then head straight back into the action on the second map here, as the first map was Insurgent Camp with a 6-4 lead for Avenue. Right now, waiting for that Tunnel map to start, where we're going to see first Avenue on defense and Utopia on attacking, and I don't know what else I have to say about that.
Well, I think we do have one substitute. I think Gecko came into the game for iWaste, if I'm not mistaken. We now have Weapon X, TMA3, Arrow, and Gecko for Utopia, playing the same 4 players that started the match for Avenue. About Tunnel, what can I say? As I said before, I scrimmed both of the teams actually earlier this week on this map. I think this, well, to be honest, I think Insurgent Camp was a little bit more even, if I can say so, than I expected. I expected Avenue to be better, to be taking more rounds, especially on Assault, as they managed to take 2 rounds, of course. I expected them to be a little bit better. I think Utopia did a great job, only losing 6-4 there, as they now still have a chance, in my opinion, to take this match home and win Cal-M this season.
All right.
As I can see,
sorry.
no problem. Yeah, 6 seconds, 5 seconds to go live. The second map, Avenue against Utopia, Cal-M finals. As we're going live in just 5 seconds.
I'm gonna have to say, attacking used to be the side that was always the one that's gonna take it early on. So I'm gonna quickly spectate. I'm gonna spectate Utopia. So right now, spam comes out from Avenue, and they take a kill on Arrow, which is very crucial, as that defense team can do spam like that. And it's a bit lucky if you manage to hit it or not, but they managed to do it. And let's just see what Utopia manages to do. Utopia getting their first players now into that objective area, but Techni taking down the second kill there. Actually,
well done,
Arrow taking 2 kills so far. Sorry, I've been completely mixing that up. Arrow getting 2 kills.
Arrow taking another kill as he's camping in the spawn area. He got flashed by Techni, it was, but managed to come back into the game just before Techni was there to kill him. Well, very quick round now. We see Utopia taking the lead 1-0.
Yeah, I completely mixed that up that round. It was actually Arrow, I think, doing the counter spam. As more spam comes out from Avenue, I think Arrow actually got hit there, but he's still green. Last round, like I said, or like Adonis said, Arrow doing that counter spam, I think, taking the first kill and then camping the spawn for 2 more kills. And then meanwhile in the tunnels, Avenue actually managing to get pretty close, but the remaining player, Weapon X for Utopia, takes that last kill. This round, though, we have Utopia pretty firmly in that objective area. The first player for Avenue goes down, being spammed in one of the cubby holes downstairs. It's going to be Revo being taken down by teammate 3. Now Viduka trying to go into that east side, getting a kill there. And Viduka is trying to come in now. Meanwhile, Arrow taken out from the back, I think. Viduka is at the objective. He's for the side there. He's shot red, now taken down by Weapon X. And that leaves it all to do for Views, I think. Am I right about that?
Both got flashed now.
Views and
both
Techni.
got flashed.
Yep. By Techni coming in the back on that west side, and he manages to pick up 1 kill after flashing both. It's going to be TMA3 going down by Techni. And now Techni's going to try to come in again. And
Weapon X flashing himself there. I don't think Techni knows where he is.
No, and now Weapon X can see again as he's standing right next to Techni now in that objective cubbyhole. Views coming out from the other side, and Views taking the kill on Weapon X. And that is the round for Avenue there, as we're now looking at a 7-5 lead by Avenue, going 1-1 here so far. I thought Utopia were going to have that, but then those flashes came out and it just set them back completely. Utopia had pretty firm control of that objective area. More spam coming out, a little bit hit, not too much. I'm going to keep speculating Utopia, as actually Arrow now has managed to rush the spammer and takes him down. And he's going to go for a quick flank there for the attacking team. Weapon X going to be the first player to lead Utopia into that objective area. As Fuse is being taken down by some spam from teammate 3, who was right behind Weapon X there. And one of the Avenue players is actually already in the objective hallway area there, in the back cubby holes. And he's engaging Weapon X. Meanwhile, teammate 3 is coming in through the east entrance to the objective site. You can quickly see what happens there as he comes out. He immediately gets shot by, I think, by some spam by Revo, who was sitting in that cubby hole at the objective. And he just keeps spamming there, and that was pretty much bad timing. Gecko, meanwhile, is in the west access corridor, I think, while Weapon X is at the objective cubby hole. And that's it for Utopia, while let's quickly see what else we have alive. We have Techni alive on the T, and then Revo, as I said, in the cubby hole. Arrow now taking down by Techni. Not exactly sure where that was. Adonis?
I'm not completely sure as well. I think Techni was still in the back at the T-split taking down Arrow. As Techni is now gone into east, the east access corridor. Weapon X and Gecko being at the west side of the objective, while Techni and Revo are at the east side. So there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's a 2 versus 2 situation here.
It is a 2v2 situation, and the Utopia players are going to be the ones that have to push. Now the flash gets deployed as Techni actually evades that. Like I said, Utopia players are going to be the ones that have to push. As that was really bad timing there, as Techni comes out of the same east access corridor that earlier in the round we saw 3TMA pop out, and just like 3TMA, Techni gets spammed there by his teammate this time, right in the back as he was still spamming that access corridor. And then we have now Gecko coming around to that east access corridor trying to go in from there, while we still have Weapon X at that objective cubby with 40 seconds on the clock. So both yellow, both those Utopia players yellow, time is running down. Revo is also yellow, manages to go back into those one of those cubby holes. He's got 30 seconds. He pops out now, trying to attack it. He kills one player. He's red bleeding. 30 seconds on the clock. He's attacking now the second player. Manages to escape into that east access corridor. Weapon X also red. And Weapon X taken down by Revo going clutch and taking down both those players and getting the round for 5th Avenue. Very nice clutch play there. As we have what's the score now? 8-5, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2-1 on this map, plus 6-4 to Avenue on the first map, means 8-5 indeed.
Let's already say that next round, let's go to the Utopia War Room, because they're going to be in a pretty crucial round no matter what happens to this round. But this round right now, we have Arrow taken down by Techni. I think that was actually upstairs, as Techni is still upstairs, probably just down that flank. Now also Gecko taken down by Revo. And now Vue's taken down by teammate 3 being at that objective area. No, he's not actually in the back. It's actually Weapon X who's on the objective cubby hole. And he's trying to secure the objective area. Exactly.
T-split trying to kill the players going into east corridor. I don't really know what Arrow and Gecko were trying to do there, because they were both at the T-split, just getting shot, going for the kills, I guess. I'm not sure what their strat was there.
2v3 situation for Avenue's favor. And they're all now going into the east and west access corridors. First player is Revo, taken down by teammate 3. Immediately behind him is going to be Vidica, and the other player is going to be Techni coming in on the west side, and he actually manages to get the kill there on teammate 3. So now it's 2v1, with Vidica coming in on the east side after Weapon X tries to run away from Techni on the west side, and he takes down Weapon X, making it 3-1 to 5th Avenue. So let's go to that war room now for Utopia.
Come on, don't block.
You stuck in the door, lol.
He's got a flash.
Tema, go there.
Good shit, wow, nice.
That was the end of that first half with Utopia on attacking and Avenue on defending, and I always thought that attacking was the easier side on Tunnel, but maybe that has just changed now with the change in flashes. I'm not exactly sure, but what I do know is that Avenue is now on match point. The best Utopia is going to be able to do now is tie it back up if they win all these rounds. If Avenue wins one of their rounds on attacking, they're going to take this match and take the Cal main finals, and thus also the title. Adonis, thoughts on this map so far?
I'd like to come back at the last round where Viduka played really well, taking down 3 players coming from West Corridor, as he was leaned out of East Corridor. They managed to get 2 players into the extraction area, as Revo and Viduka indeed managed to get in there. Revo taking down 1 player, then taken down by Gecko, and Viduka taking down both 3 players coming from West Corridor, as Techni finishes off killing TMA.
More alive in that second half. No spam has come out so far, and all players seem to be going down. I don't think there's any flanks going on. And Avenue has got a big team flash coming out there, as 2 of their players get flashed out. Arrow and then taken down by Techni, who rushes the T, but then Techni taken down by Gecko U. Maybe Avenue's gonna be able to come back from that team flash after that fast rush. But I would say that a team flash like that really should cost them the rounds, unless Utopia is sleeping. But right now it's 3v3 situation. Utopia on defense, and they're in control of the objective, which is never a good situation to be in for the attacking team. With Gecko actually running all the way past that west corner, going in that west cubbyhole in the objective side. Where are the other players? Weapon X is still in the... actually, it's actually only Gecko who's at that objective area, so maybe it's not that good of a situation for Utopia. Yeah, those 2 players are still stuck on that east tunnel. Avenue now pushing into that west corner, where teammate 3 is now shot by Viduka on the T, I think. Views is going to be trying to go into that west axis corridor, and he actually takes down Gecko, who for some reason that I don't know why, he peeks out to get through that west axis corridor and gets the headshot in his face there. As Views now tries to defuse while he gets covered by Viduka, who takes down Weapon X. And I think actually I report one of the skills wrong there. So this is the round for Avenue, and that's also the match and thus the title for Avenue. Congratulations to Avenue there. Nice try to Utopia, but I really wonder what Gecko was doing there. Adonis.
Yeah, very well played in this last round. This was a pretty good example, I think, of the difference in the quality of the players. Utopia was in a pretty good position there, taking Gecko to the objective area. Then Avenue took it pretty easy, pretty slow towards the objective area, taking down all of the... As we see Avenue taking down 2 players already, while 2 players of Utopia are left in the team. Another one taken down, and the last player is Arrow for Utopia. The stairs, also taken down by Viduka. Very well played by Avenue.
I think another big difference here between these teams that I've seen on Tunnel was that Avenue knew to spam. I think they had to spam downstairs, both on the attacking side and the defending side, but Utopia only had the obvious spam from the elbow to the T, and I haven't seen them do any other spam so far. I think just now, actually, this round, maybe Weapon X did a little bit of spamming, or an Arrow did some nice flanking. I have to give him that, but it was all just not enough. And I'm always really on the fence if flanking is really a good idea when you're not attacking, because if you get all your players down, and especially if you manage to get them in that objective area, you can get that objective area. You can get there faster, and you can do way more damage than the defending team being in that objective area, because you can actually take it and end the round. And they went instead for the flanking, which did get some loads of kills, but not a lot of rounds. Just quickly talking about this round, we got Gecko down by Techni and Weapon X down by Viduka around the objective area. That second kill, I didn't see that one. There's now Arrow also in that East X corridor. And Techni down by teammate 3. I think Arrow is going to get shot in... Actually, no, teammate 3 killing now 2 players on that West Axis corridor. That's pretty impressive on that round, but obviously the match has already been played at this point. And we're just going to keep casting this for us, because why not? We still have 2 well-prepared teams that have managed to get to the KLM finals playing each other, and that's always nice to see. So, but it doesn't really matter anymore for the actual outcome of the match, unfortunately. Arrow now fighting with one of the Avenue players in that objective cubby, as he's been shot red. Pretty long fight there. Vidic actually manages to get out of that objective cubby and take the kill. And that was another round to 5th Avenue there, Adonis.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what we see now because the match has already been played. Although it's nice to just finish this match as we should. We see Avenue blocking each other now while going into the tunnels. I think Fuse has stayed up. He's going to be trying to flank while the other players are going downstairs. We see all 4 players of Utopia being down in the tunnels, trying to go into the east corridor. Let me see if that works out for them. Looks like it does. We see Viduka in the extraction area taken down by TMA 3 there, as Weapon X is taken down by Fuse, who was flanking the Utopia players. We now have Geku coming at the extraction, and while Fuse is trying to take down, indeed, TMA at the T-split, Arrow and Gecko left against Fuse.
Yeah, earlier on, Arrow actually managed to rush the T and go through the elbow, picking up 2 kills like that. And then now he's been sitting in that cover that he's still in at the moment. As he got shot yellow, I think, by the shots that killed TMA. So that's a little bit bad for him. Fuse is red bleeding, but I don't think he's going to take this round anymore. We got a suggestion here from our videocaster to go to the war room for Avenue for the last round, which we will definitely do then. So next round, next round? Yeah, next round we're going to go to the war room for Avenue, just to finish up this cast. And now Gecko taking down the last player there, Fuse. So we're going to go over to the Avenue war room right now.
I'm going over chase, so prepare for flash.
Yeah, if I can't get in the fucking door, I just can't go down.
Move behind each other.
Give a flash, everyone.
Yeah. Steve tripping. One rush T.
Flashed.
Okay, spammed again. Go, figure.
Take objective, take it. Oh no.
Okay, we won.
Yeah, I got my 10 bomb.
I got 12. Yuppie.
Well, that was that last round there, where we were doing that war room quickly for Avenue. Avenue taking that match, obviously, also heavily taking tunnel, just pretty much completely wiping out Utopia on tunnel. Was expecting maybe to see that a little bit more balanced, but hey, I think Avenue definitely deserved that, as Utopia just didn't actually have the... they didn't really impress me with any of their strats or spams or whatever they had on tunnel. So that went to Avenue, and I think it was pretty well deserved. I have to say, very nice start for Utopia, though, especially on Insurgent Camp. That was pretty exciting right there. Adonis, any last comments or things to add here?
Well, I want to thank e-rev for taking this cast again, really. They're bringing America's Army to what it deserves, in my opinion. I think we've got a great community, so I'd like to thank everyone who puts time into this and making this better. I'd like to thank everyone for that.
All right. We've been casting here for e-rev. We have to say good night right now. For the this cast is going to be coming at an end really soon. We've been casting today Cal-M Finals, which were Utopia Esports taking a 2nd place in that league against 5th Avenue, winning this match and winning those Cal-M Finals. So good games to both those teams. Congratulations to 5th Avenue. Also good games to all the other teams in those Cal-M leagues. And we're going to thank I'm going to thank e-rev DGR here for his video, so thank you for that. I've been casting for e-rev. I'm Orange Devil. Together with me has been Adonis as my co-caster, and I'm going to say good night.
e-rev applied directly to the forehead. e-rev applied directly to the forehead.
e-rev is not responsible for any monitor-to-head related injuries. View at your own